Hello, stargazers. Happy new moon. Today is April 11th, and the new moon occurs today, April 11th, at 10:30 p.m. for the East Coast. I'll be speaking specifically about the East Coast because that's where I'm at. So the times may be different for you, and the house that the new moon falls in may also be different for you. But this is for East Coast because that's where I am. So this new moon, hopefully everyone can see my mouse right here, it actually falls in Pisces. I'll tell you why. My chart may look different than other charts you may have seen before. This is a true sidereal chart, so different than sidereal, different than Western for sure, as it takes into consideration the 13th sign Ophiuchus, that's this one right here. And you'll notice that all the zodiac signs are different sizes. Look how small Scorpio is here. Look how large Virgo is here. And that is because it takes into account where the signs and the stars actually fall in the zodiac belt. So the zodiac belt is a limited amount of space, an elliptical, and sometimes, the stars aren't fully in it, and yet we're giving it a whole 30 degrees. Everybody gets even 30 degrees when that's inaccurate according to the sky. So the reason why Scorpio is so small, it's only 5 or 6 degrees, is because the scorpion in the sky, only the top part actually falls in the zodiac belt. The bottom and the tail are well below. We included Ophiuchus now because Ophiuchus has shifted to fit into the zodiac belt. And it's still a lower part of Ophiuchus because it is the snake bearer. So it is a man or woman, depending on how you want to interpret. I believe that the original mythology is a man, but the energy of Ophiuchus resonates more with the feminine. So regardless, it's a snake bearer, but you get more of the bottom half, the lower half. So it's smaller here. Virgo is massive, well over 30 degrees, because the woman lays horizontally across the whole zodiac belt. So you get that full sign. So you'll notice there's a lot of different size variations, which changes the way the signs are read. So currently, Western astrology is the most followed here in America. And right now, everyone is saying that this new moon, the sun and the moon, are in Aries, but that actually isn't true if you look up in the sky and see it for yourself, due to the precession of the equinox, where there is this small backwards motion that the constellations make over a long period of time. That's how we change the ages. So when astrology was first discovered as a system or created as a system, that's when we got the original 12 signs and stuff like that. But this is more accurate for the time, and astrology was discovered about 4,000 years ago. So we've had quite a shift. So I'll get into a longer video about that. I just wanted to clarify why my chart looks different, but it's based on true sidereal aligning with the sky. So that being said, this new moon, we have sun and moon 30 degrees in Pisces, falling in the 5th house, ruled by Leo, which is the sun's ruler. So the sun is home at this time. And we have a very tight square to Pluto. Now, of course, I'm going to break all this down in English, but that is the major energy of this particular new moon. So what is a new moon? A new moon is when the sun and moon meet up in the sky. And we consider that the new beginning, a reset, a new cycle, a new energetic imprint for the month. The moon dictates the lunar months. So we look at this as a new beginning, whereas the full moon is like the peak, the most fertile time. This is an internal time because the sun and moon are together. You cannot see the moon. So this is a very introverted type of energy. This is where we plant seeds, where we get the ideas so that we can continue through the month and manifest. So with that being said, falling in the energy of Pisces, Pisces is empathetic, intuitive, psychic, artistic, daydreamy, visionary, internal, creative, very floaty. So this isn't a grounded sign. This is a water sign. Water is the element of psychic phenomena. And Pisces being the last sign in the zodiac, it is very much this in-between state where we're ending a cycle before we start Aries, which is the spark of new life. So Pisces is kind of like this doorway to the other world. That's why it's not very grounded here on Earth. It's very dreamy. It's very astral. It is a floaty feeling. Anytime we have energy in Pisces, it can be hard to focus on the real world, and we can get lost in our fantasies. That's not a bad thing. It's great for art. It's great for creating. It's just not easy when you have to go to work or have to do something that requires you to be anchored to reality. But that's not here nor there. So now we have this tight square, 30 degrees to 30 degrees. The sign is Sagittarius that Pluto is sitting in. And Pluto is a very powerful outer planet. So it's not a personal planet. It doesn't dictate our daily lives, but when it does make aspects to our personal planets, we pay a lot of attention to it. So Pluto is transmutation. Pluto is the death and rebirth. It's a very powerful energy. Think of P for Pluto, P for power. So what this means is we're going to be feeling the need to be in control. Ego issues may be on the rise. And then, of course, triggers. It might be triggered by authority figures, people telling us what to do because we want to be in control. Also, it can trigger deep buried psychological issues, dealing with fears of death, losing control, abuse, or also spiritual warfare, having your energy siphoned and kind of like an energy vampire type thing. You might notice that. So the key to this, because it doesn't mean that it's a determined energy, the key to this is to, once you're aware of these triggers and once you're aware of the feeling of control coming over this particular new moon, which this energetic imprint doesn't last for just one day. This is a theme that leads up to the full moon. So it's about a 2-week theme. The theme is to let go of the control, resist the feeling of having to control the outside world or control those around you. You have to release that feeling so that the outside world can go away. And then you recall your power to you by doing that. So we have an opportunity for regaining our power, regaining our own control, not control of others or our environment or circumstances, but our control, accessing our own power. So this can be a rebirth, healing some of those triggers, healing some of those fears, and really realizing that some things are out of our control, and that's okay. But what we can control is what we give our energy to, what we choose to create with. Speaking of creation, Pisces is a very creative energy, and with it falling in the 5th house of Leo, that is the creative space. So the 5th house, anytime we have a lot of action here, including the sun and the moon, it sparks the creative juices. Romance will be sparked. Fun and play is something that we should absolutely do, indulging in our passions. So going with the theme of not focusing on the outside world, letting go of the triggers, kind of cutting the cords to the energetic vampires. You feel your energy, your power being taken from you, cut that cord, tune out of it, bring your energy back to center, and use it to fuel your passions. What do you love to do? What brings you joy? What brings you pleasure? What allows you to have fun? That's the focus for these next 2 weeks. Bring creativity back into your life. Tune into your own power, your personal power. Do not be triggered by the circumstances around you. It is a test. That is the theme of this new moon. So get creative, inspire yourself with some vision, play, have some fun, and try to let go of that need to control. And that's all for this time. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night, stargazers.